Hey Algebra, this is my fault. This is a follow-up video to some questions on your factor by grouping assignment today. I gave you ones that were a little bit more advanced than I meant to. And also number 7, if you got it, great. If not, I'm going to give you credit for it because it was I accidentally put a trinomial in there instead of a quadnomial. All right, so let's look at this right here. We're going to do factor by grouping. Oh, I got pens everywhere. All right, so let's look at this. We can group the first two and the last two. Okay, remember you find the GCF. Well, 10 and 10, r cubed, r squared. Remember you find your smallest, which is r squared. So this is going to leave me with 10r squared times what is 10r cubed? Well, that's going to be another r. And then 10r times what is 10r squared times what is 10r squared? 1. And then I already know that I'm going to have r plus 1 here. So r times what is 6r? 6. So then when I put them together, remember the outsides and then the common one inside. Okay, this was my fault. I didn't do an example of this the other day. Sorry about that. I was tied up in my headphones. All right, look, when you get to your final two binomials, now some of you may know this, but you always have to factor down completely. Just like when you are simplifying a fraction, you got to take it to lowest form. With factoring, you have to take it to lowest form as well. And if you look at 10r squared plus 6, you should notice that you can pull a GCF out of 10 and 6. What is a number that can go into 10 and 6? Well, 2. So I'm going to pull a 2 out, and 2 times what is 10r squared? Well, 5r squared plus 2 times what is 6? 3. So I was able to pull another factor of that out, and so then what you just do with this part is you just bring it down next to it. And so that is going to be your final answer. Okay, let's look at another one. 20x cubed minus 16x squared minus 160x plus 128. Now again, remember, you guys can move these things around if you want. I'm just going to leave them as is. Actually, I'm going to move them around. I'm going to put the 20x cubed minus the 160x together, and then I'm going to put the minus 16x squared plus the 128 together. Okay. So then from there, I'm going to group the first two, and I'm going to group the last two. Now the GCF here, 20 and 160, the reason I did that is easier to see. 20 is my GCF. X cubed and x, well, I'm going to pull my x out. It's the smallest. And let's see what we're left with. 20x times what is 20x cubed? Well, that's going to be x squared. Bring the minus. 20x times what is 160, negative 160x? That's going to be 8. Well, I know that this is going to be x squared minus 8 over here. So x squared times what is negative 16x squared? That would be a negative 16. Now just double check that negative 16 times negative 8 is 128. Oh, my calculator. So 16 times 8, yes, negative is positive 128. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my outsides together. I have 20x minus 16, and then remember, you bring the two that are similar, x squared minus 8. Now look. Can I pull a GCF out of either one of these? Yes, I can here. Look, 20 and 16. What's the GCF of 20 and 16? 4. So I can pull a 4 out. So 4 times what is 20x? 5x. 4 times what is negative 16? Negative 4. And then you bring down your x squared minus 8. So that's your final answer on that one. Again, you have to simplify it. You got to factor it down to the lowest forms. All right, let's look at the last one. All right, so for this one, you know what? I'm going to make this easier. I'm going to move things around. I'm going to do 60v cubed minus 60 minus 100v squared plus 36v. Again, you don't have to do that, but you can if you want. So I'm going to group those two. I'm going to group that two. This way I can pull out a 60, and I'm left with v cubed minus 1. So over here, I'm going to have v cubed minus 1. I know they're going to be the same. So v cubed times what? Oops. That's not right. What'd I do? It's cubed minus 60. I need you guys here. V squared plus 36v. Pulled out a 60. So v cubed, it can't work over here. I wonder if I copied the problem down wrong. Nope, I didn't. All right, so I'll tell you what. My bad. Let's start over and let's try to do this. Let's just try to do the first two and the last two since I don't have y'all here to figure it out. All right, so 60 v and negative 100 v squared, I'm going to say 20. And then I'm going to say v squared. And then I'm going to have 20v squared times what is 60v cubed? Well, that's going to be 3v. Minus 20v squared times what is 100? That's going to be 5. So now I have 3v minus 5. Okay, now 3v times what is 36v? Well, that is going to be 12v. And is 12v minus 5 negative 60? Yeah. Okay, so then we're going to put the 20v squared plus the 12v on the outside, and then we bring the ones down together. That's common. Now again, look at this. Do I have a GCF that I can pull out of that? I do. 4 can go into 20 and 12. I also have a v that can go. So 4v times what is 20v squared? 5v. 4v times what is 12v? 3. And then you just bring down the other one next to it. So that would be your final answer. So again, when you get to this last step, if you can pull a GCF out, pull it out, and then whatever's left, just pull it down next to it. I hope that helps.